Hello again. This is going to be the last video of the day, but I wanted to show science some love, and yeah, didn't want to leave that out. So let's take a look at the calendar and I'll show you kind of what I'm going to do. Okay, so for the first 4 days, I gave you passion project time, but for the first 4 days, it's all about cell organelles. So this was something that we have not done yet, but I included the notes that for the PowerPoint that we would use in class. So today I'm just gonna go over the PowerPoint and show you kind of what I was looking for the cell organelle dictionary. And then basically all you have to do for this part is just read that story. It goes along with the vocab that we're learning. And then this part should be pretty self-explanatory too. It's just a color by number based off of the different, it might not be even a color by number. I think it's just like a coloring based off of the different terms that we're using that all go back to these notes. So we're gonna go over these notes. If you have access to, well, obviously you will because you have access to Google Classroom. Both of these links are different like cheesy songs about cell organelles that can help you remember them. So you know how I roll. Alrighty, so let me get this going here. I made a mock cell dictionary just to show you what we're gonna do. Okay, so obviously this looks similar to yours, but not exactly the same. So the first one is the nucleus. So the nucleus, we're all talking about different types of cells, the parts of the cells. So the nucleus is the organelle that acts as the control center or brain of the cell. So all of this is really new vocab that you have to know, but it's also, the biggest thing is just coming up with clever ways to remember it. So the nucleus is the brain of the cell. So in your cell dictionary, you're just gonna write down the definition on this side and then a picture of it on the right. Okay, so that little box, you draw your own picture, definition on the other side. Okay, can basically match what's on there. And then if you have any fun ways to remember that the nucleus is the brain of the cell. Okay, alrighty, the next one. And if I have any ways that I remember that students have come up with throughout the past few years, I will let you know. Nucleus in the brain, for some reason, people don't really have a huge problem remembering that. Okay, the mitochondria is the organelle that is the powerhouse of the cell. It gives its cell energy. I think there's a Vine. My brother is younger than me and more relevant than me, and he would always say, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So I feel like there's an old Vine, maybe you guys can look that up, that about kind of like, oh, you learn all these things in school that are irrelevant, like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but don't learn other things. So yeah, look that up. Don't quote me, but I think that there might be one online. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It gives the cell energy. Ribosomes, the organelle that produces proteins for the cell. So I always think about this one. Ribosomes, like you see like rib, like if you're eating ribs, you're getting lots of protein, right? Yeah, organelle that produces protein. And again, if you want to use this for your notes, you can pause this as we're going. That's the beauty of YouTube and remote learning. So if I go fast, you can just pause it. All right, the endoplasmic reticulum. I'll say that one more time. Endoplasmic reticulum, or ER. It's the organelle that acts as the highway to move proteins around the cell. Okay, so one of my former students there's like a rock song, and they took it and said, highway to cell. So again, ER, you can think like if you're going to the ER, you take the highway to move those proteins around, okay? So you're gonna go, if you're going to the ER, you're moving fast, like you're moving on the highway. Okay, Golgi bodies are the organelle that packages up proteins and nutrients and sends them off to other parts of the cell. So I've heard in the past that this is like the Amazon of the cell, right? Amazon packages up things and sends them off. So the Golgi bodies are like the Amazon of the cell. The Cell membrane is the part of the cell that acts as a screen, letting water and oxygen in and waste out. So it is like this part around here. Okay, it's like that outline thing. So there's your whole cell. Inside the cell membrane is around the outside. So it lets water and oxygen in and waste out. Lysosomes are the organelle that aids the cell in eliminating waste and recycling materials within the cell. So lyso kind of sounds like Lysol wipes, and it eliminates 99% of germs, like eliminating waste, okay? So it eliminates waste and recycles materials. The vacuole is the organelle that acts as a storage center for the cell. So I think of it like a vacuum stores all like the dirt. Okay, so the organelle, the vacuole stores the cells. If you have a different way of thinking of that, you can use that different way. Okay, the cytoplasm is the gel-like fluid within a cell that aids in organelle movement and gives the cell structure. So if you think of like donating plasma, like the gel-like fluid. Okay, so the cytoplasm is that gel-like fluid. So it kind of just holds everything in place. So all the cells that were inside of here, it's just the actual like inside material of that cell. Okay, the cell wall is a little different from the cell membrane. This is for plant cells. And again, it is like along the outside. It supports and protects everything that's inside of there. So it really does just look like the walls of a house. Easy way to remember it. And chloroplasts. So again, this is only in plants, and it takes in sunlight and uses it for photosynthesis to give the cell energy. So you can think like chlorophyll, things like that. It's just in plants. Uses that sunlight, gives the cell energy. Okay, that's the last one. Again, those videos are on there if you need them. We'll go back to the calendar real quick here. Okay, so again, those two things right there, they're on school. This calendar's on SchoolSpeak and on Google Classroom. If you click on either of those, you can, and I'll also put it on this link so it's easy. When I post this, you can use those to help you come up with different ways to remember. You can use flashcards. I think I have a Quizlet that I'll post. And then, yeah, just use these to help you with the other two activities. And today's, oh my, no, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna exit out of that. Anyways, today's activity is actually just to read. So if you have your cell organelle done, this is just like another way to help you remember. It kind of puts these organelles into different characters. And then your coloring is the last thing of the week with this until your passion project. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Love you. Bye.